Hi, it's Hayley from the Me Project. I'm going to be focusing on toxic relationships. Toxic relationships are what I call poisonous relationships. They fill our bloodstream with poison and they take the life out of us and eventually they kill us. So they leave us feeling depressed, they leave us feeling depleted, they leave us feeling low energy. They affect all other key areas of our lives, and they're essentially what I call bad news relationships. So in contrast, a good relationship is one which breathes fresh oxygen into our bloodstream. They enliven us, they enrich our life experience, they give to us more than they take. I will be discussing with you how you can notice the signs and signals of a toxic relationship, and if you may be experiencing poison in your relationship, and how good people can wind up in toxic relationships. We are not perfect, all of us, but we can at least try to present the best version of ourselves in our relationships, so we can share the best experiences possible with one another. I'm also going to be sharing my own personal account of how I had extremely toxic behaviour in one of my past relationships. I'm not too proud of it, stay tuned. So where does toxic start? People can unknowingly be addicted to drama, addicted to vicious drama cycles. The highs and lows can become very addictive. And yeah, we can unknowingly be caught up in the viciousness of it all. People aren't always aware of how to set the standards of healthy relating to others in their relationships. They may not be aware of how to do it, they may not be assertive enough, they've never been shown the way. So essentially they're just putting up with the status quo in the relationship and not setting healthy boundaries within it. Common characteristics of toxic relationships include things like keeping score. When an error or something wrong occurred in a relationship some time ago, it's constantly keeping score of that moment in the present, which can be quite destructive and toxic in a relationship. So essentially reminding your partner constantly where they went wrong, and keeping score of that moment to, I guess, have an upper hand in the situation. The only way to experience true intimacy in a relationship is through honesty. Honesty is where you have the opportunity to really be exposed for who you are, the person that you are. So poisonous behavior is incredibly toxic when it's in the form of lies. Different forms of lies occur. You've got white lies, which are innocent lies. You've got half-truths, which I think are big fat lies that are omitting some detail. And unfortunately, these things take away the opportunity to have that intimacy, for your partner to know who you are, and what's occurring for you. And being honest is a chance to be genuinely understood. So when a poisonous connection occurs in the form of a lie, watch out. It could eventually devastate the relationship. Repositioning truth can be an effective way to take that harmful edge off the truth which can occur. So essentially, great example is that old chestnut. Honey, do I have a big fat booty in these jeans? Well, maybe, honey, those jeans are not the most flattering pants I've seen you in, to be quite frank. You looked much better in those cargo pants I saw you in last week. Okay, so you can reposition the truth so that it's slightly less harmful. When lying is used to mask bad behavior, this is where I get particularly worked up, for situations such as getting out of repercussions and consequences of your behavior. It's incredibly unfair and toxic. So jealousy, this is one that I've dealt with over the years. Jealousy is incredibly toxic. It's essentially, jealousy is an unproductive emotion. It's insecurity based, and it really is about perceived threats occurring. And unfortunately, we've been hardwired to experience the emotion of jealousy as humans so that we can survive, which is interesting, and we can be aware of things that threaten our very existence. So jealousy unfortunately can lead to drama, such as, snooping through phones, snooping through emails. Unfortunately, it all leads down the garden path, which isn't a very good one. It's a toxic one. So possessiveness. Possessiveness is harmful because it's like when you're possessive of a partner, it's like you're squeezing the air out of them. You're expecting them to live through you and not to be their own person and not to be able to make their own decisions and be who they are at their core. Very toxic. Rejection is very harmful in a sense of you can hold your relationship hostage through your words and reject your partner through statements such as, you know what, honey, I can't be with someone that, doesn't like to go out and party on a Saturday night because, I like to go out and have fun and, I don't want to be with someone that's so boring and stuff like that. Well, essentially you're holding your relationship hostage through your words, and that's incredibly toxic and harmful. Breaking boundaries. Firstly, you've got to have boundaries in place. We've all got our own morals, ethics, and values. It's our way of operation, the way of who we are. So you need to make sure that you're on the same page with your morals, ethics, and values, because this can lead to a lot of difference and a lot of, hurt through the course of the relationship if you're not on the same page with that stuff. So make sure you've got some agreed boundaries in place and don't break those agreed boundaries, because trust is like a mirror. Once the mirror is broken, you can put it back together with some glue, but you'll always see the cracks. We're all only human. We've all got scars from our past. We've all got our own complications. But you know what? We need to honour our agreements. This is where true intimacy can be experienced, a connection that can't be found anywhere else outside a relationship, arising from truly understanding and knowing each other. If you think that and feel that you may be in a toxic relationship, think really hard about, what the best plan of action is, because you can experience things such as anxiety issues, medical problems. You can have self-esteem issues as a result of being in a toxic relationship, so not very good signs. Try to work on resolving the issue with your partner to the best of your ability, and if it's non-resolvable, you must move on to a much healthier state of being. So now to my toxic story. As a very young lady, was in a very long-term serious relationship, which I probably wasn't prepared for in terms of the growth I'd experienced to date as a person. So I used to lie in that relationship. I've even cheated in that relationship, and I took a lot without actually giving as much as I could in that relationship, and fortunately very toxic behaviour. I'm not too proud of it. I still have nightmares over it. It's not good. So after many years of personal development and working on myself, I can now see the way forward, and I'm much happier with the person that I am. So make sure that your relationships make you feel good, because that's what they're for, to make you feel good, or risk the poison ivy, which will slowly but surely start growing around your neck and choking and strangling you to death, slowly but surely. So realize that happiness is a choice, and the choice is yours to make.